the Parks and Rec Committee meeting to order. Today is November 13th, 4:30 p.m. And call the meeting call to order, starting from my left.
Sue Krieger.
Capel here.
Bar Height here.
Jill Reese.
And Melissa will be in shortly, I think, right?
Yep.
Certify the posting of the meeting. Can you do that?
I have that.
You've got it.
I certified that on Friday, November 10th, 2023. The agenda for the Town of Rome Parks and Recreation Committee meeting for Monday, November 13th, 2023 was posted at the Rome Town Hall at 3:22 p.m., Quick Trip LLC at 3:14 p.m., the Nakusa Port Edwards State Bank at 3:18 p.m., and emailed to the Wisconsin Rapids Tribune at 3:10 p.m.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve today's agenda?
Also move.
I'll second.
Discussion. I'd like to add one agenda item that's not on there, and that is this National Fitness Campaign sponsored outdoor gym that we have.
I think you could report about it, but you wouldn't be able to take action on it
We're
today.
not gonna take action, we're just gonna talk about it.
Okay.
So, yeah, we'll add that as item 15A then.
Go under 6 then?
It could go under, reports and planning activities. Yep.
All right, make it 6A then, okay?
Okay.
Okay, we have a motion and a second with a modifier. All in favor? Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Motion carries. Thank you. No action contemplated except for possible referral to future agenda items. Item 6, reports on park planning activities. Nothing has transpired from our last meeting. We do have a planning commission meeting tomorrow, which I would encourage all of you to attend if possible. I know Bill is already on the committee, and Sue is going to go with me at least. But Jill, if you could come, that'd be great.
What time?
It's at 4 o'clock, I believe.
4.
And we're second on the agenda item, so you could probably plan on leaving early. Okay, that brings us down to item 6A then, which is this National Fitness Campaign, which is sponsored in Wisconsin by Quartz. They sent us a presentation. We attended a telephone conference call about it. Basically, it is an outdoor gym that is a standard platform. It's 38 by 38 feet. It's about half the size of a tennis court. It has 7 zones for fitness workouts. And basically, the plan is to do I believe for the most part, a static exercise in each of the 7 zones for 1 minute apiece. So in the 7 minutes, you could have your exercise could be done. The plan would be to do it 2 or 3 times a week at least. The cost is $160,000, and they're offering a $50,000 grant or reduction in the price. But then when you add in the slab work and the installation work, that's another $45,000. So our cost would be at least $155,000. They have a lot of support as far as surveying the site, planning activities. They have an ambassador training session so that we would have a person here who would know what the exercises are all about and be able to promote that. They have media announcements, and they have an app to show how the gym works and what you can do within it. They have it in at least 4 cities in Wisconsin: Janesville, Juneau, Iron County, and West Allis. So the West Allis one, I believe, is the oldest one in Wisconsin. So I don't know if anybody had a chance to look at the proposal or the view graphs I sent you on it. You have any thoughts about it?
Did you have an idea for a location?
Not really. We'd probably have to decide where it would fit best on the plot plan, probably around the nature path that we have around the Great Lawn, someplace along there.
How did you learn about it? Did somebody approach you? Is somebody advocating
Yeah,
for
we
it?
had an email that came to Jamie and I believe to Lori DiGiovanni. And it was advocating a $50,000 grant for it. Basically, I look at it as a cost-reduced item, not necessarily as a grant, because we would certainly need more money to do it. So we need, we need at least 155,000.
Was this somebody local that sent it to us? I'm just wondering if it's, so it was just like.
No, it's
they're, they're selling it.
They're selling it, yeah, it's an ad
That's
campaign
exactly what it
is
was.
what it
It was a sales pitch.
Right, okay. I'm just wondering if anybody local was familiar with it, that they're asking for it. I'm
No.
not necessarily against it, I'm just trying to get a feel for this.
The demand,
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
I understand.
My thought, after thinking about this for a couple days, would be, we had initially planned all along to have fitness stations around the nature path and spread out so that there'd be like, one might be a chin-up bar, one might be a sit-up place. So there's 7 or 8 of those different kinds of things that we could buy individually and place along the track. I think it would probably be less than $155,000. I've even
You
seen
might
them.
surprise yourself on that one, but
Yeah.
Right.
I'm familiar with one down at Lake Park in Milwaukee, and I'm sure it will cost more than that. So
At least,
it depends on the size, how many stations you want,
yeah,
and how far you can spread them out.
yeah.
And what the stations are, I would
Right.
assume ones with
Right.
more
I
moving
mean, some of them
parts.
are very simple, some of them are very
Yeah,
Very,
elaborate.
complex.
Yeah, and I took this more as a grant too, so interesting that it's applicable just to this item.
Yeah, and I mentioned that, there are grants available for outdoor exercise, recreational parks and things like that. Maybe a community development block grant would be something that we could apply for that. But I guess my thinking would be it's not on our horizon right now with the other things that we have planned and that we want to accomplish first. I don't know if everybody else feels that way.
I agree to a point. So we have something planned for the next year, the pickleball courts. Do we, maybe this is something we do put on our horizon for 2-3 years down.
Oh, yeah.
Something we could put to the public and see what kind of feedback we get.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
I'd be interested in seeing what people would think if you because the stations that I'm familiar with are nowhere near the complexity of what this little square is. And a lot of these were, I want to say, aerobic type exercises versus balance beams and things like that are in normal
Right, I
parks.
like the idea of spreading them out more around the track.
That was the original thought, I thought, was to go around the great
Mm-hmm.
lawn on the outside and have stations. This would be, that's why I was asking where you were thinking about putting it, because it would be all in one spot based on the way it's advertised anyway.
Yeah.
Not that we couldn't do that in one corner or something.
We have plenty of property, and we even have probably more than you guys realize, but I'm not sure of the demand for this particular type of fitness equipment or station.
Yeah, that's why I think it's something that we should consider down the road. And
Yeah.
I'll get back to him with that.
I wouldn't take it off the table, but I would put it there for a while.
I
Okay.
agree.
Okay. We'll move on then. Item 7 is just a reminder that we do have money to spend from WEDC. Basically, we're talking about $40,000. So that doesn't change. It's the same as it was before. I will leave it on the agenda just for a reminder. Discussion and possible action on the following items. Item 8, approval of our minutes, meeting minutes of October 23rd, 2023. Can we have a motion, please?
I make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
I have a question on, and I'm sorry I couldn't be here, but I was really sick that day. There was a grant that had been requested from,
Visit room.
Visit Rome?
yeah.
Yeah.
And it said, was it that it was turned down?
Yeah, it couldn't be funded. They, first of all, didn't have enough money.
So it's not on the drawing board, it's.
No.
Okay.
And they indicated that they are in favor of extending perhaps the grants that we have now. It's valid for another year at least, and then beyond that, they would consider an extension of something like that. But they also wanted to have the results back of our corp study and the results from that. And they also wanted to see the plan approved by the Plan Commission.
Thank you.
Okay, any other discussion on the minutes? You have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Item 9, the comprehensive outdoor plan. Nothing has changed on that. I did talk, I left a message with Jeff saying that I wanted to make sure that we had a statement in the plan about the pickleball courts, and that hopefully it'd be something positive that would help us drive that forward.
And Jeff will be communicating with Melissa after my departure when the draft is ready. And he did tell me that a draft wouldn't be here before my departure, but a draft should be here before the first of the year for the
Oh.
Parks Committee. And then obviously there would be a review and a back and forth if changes would be needed. So I think he's close, but he said it wouldn't be here before Friday. But
Okay,
he does know to communicate to email it to Melissa and has her email.
okay. Item 10, the Walden Park Shoreline Planting Subcommittee Report on kayak launch. Melissa's not here right now.
We just pause that one, and then when she comes, she could give an update.
Yeah, let's just skip on to item 11. We'll come back to item 10 then. Disc Golf Subcommittee Report. The survey is,
Yeah, the
Underway.
survey actually is going to be completed tomorrow.
Ah.
They had a day delay with weather. So, yeah. And then the RFP for course design, I sent it on for review and approval to the town
To the board.
Yeah.
mhm.
So, once we get that, I guess we'll go from there.
Yeah, it should be on Thursday's board meeting, so hopefully you'll have an approval then and we can move forward with it.
Yeah.
Okay, item 12 then, pickleball initial planning. The next steps. We'll have hopefully the approval from the Plan Commission tomorrow. If not, we'll have to modify and see where we go from there.
And the site plan of operations are referrals to town board, so approval from the plan commission would be referred to the next
Right,
town board meeting, which is Thursday, so it would still be this week,
Sure.
but just that it's
There's another step.
approval from plan commission's a referral to town board.
and then I kind of wanted to have everybody's opinion as to whether we should even go to the Legacy Foundation this year for a grant or wait until next year.
When is the next year's application due?
He likes them probably in November.
Okay.
Mhm.
Well, we don't have the RFP done yet, so we're not sure what to ask for.
Yeah, I think we're close, but yeah, the RFP would confirm whether we are or not.
Yeah.
So maybe we just wait a little bit and see how it goes, and if we get the RFP and nothing would keep us from contacting him in June or so and seeing if we could apply then.
Yeah, I thought they took applications twice a year, but I apologize, I don't know the precise time frame of when they are due, but I thought you could submit twice a year.
Could be. I know he was revising his applications and wasn't going to have it available till November 1st.
And I know we looked it up last time, I apologize. I think we have one more year of legacy, so the, you have another 25 that would be coming for the park project next year. You may want to get that grant completed before reapplication.
Okay, that's what that was my question. I'm like, where are we at with our grant funding for next year? We're already getting 25 from Legacy for
Right.
2024.
Yeah, 'cause you got 100,000 from Legacy and 125 from Visit Rome. So you'd have one more 25,000 from Legacy and two more 25 from Visit Rome, I do
Right.
believe.
Okay, so that you've got this update.
Yeah, it's pretty much as I got it on there.
Oh, yep.
And we have enough funding to finish the pickleball court then?
Yeah, I think
Till
by
next
next
year.
year we would have.
I know this was the same one from last month. I still need, Melissa and I haven't had time to go through that number, but
Carry over.
that carryover seems really high to me.
It was like $5 short of 95,000.
But you have carry forward next year of 218.
Well, that would be with the two grants from Visit Rome, the money from the town of Rome, and the grant from Legacy Foundation added in there, plus whatever we would get in donations from draft.
So you're thinking that some of those numbers are already added into the 95?
I think the 95 is 2024, because you have those funds are coming in next year. Not we had funds this year, but what's in the budget for 2024 is the 25, the 25, and the 40 from WEDC.
Yeah, I didn't even, well, yeah, I put that in 2023.
And
I
then
think, we waited until June or so to get the carryover numbers from 2022. And when we met with you, and that was the first thing Melissa did, the carryover turned out to be 95,000 from 2022 into 2023.
No, the carry forward let me just look on the budget statement. That, the 95 on that sheet would reflect next year what you would still have.
Well, if that's the case, then we would be short because we'd be at 225, somewhere in there.
Cause end of year. Your carry forward at the end of 2023 was the $39,016 in parks. But most of that, if not all of it, I mean, we don't project a carry forward for 2024 after we close out all of our expenses for the band shell. Now, you still have tourism funds, right, because that's two separate budgets, but 94,900 is what we would project next year with donations. So the 218 number is high.
Well, obviously, if that's the case, but I guess I'd like to talk to Melissa and see what her take on it is, because all along I was thinking that in 2022 we had the band shell completely paid for, and that turned out to be, well, maybe not the case. And then we were talking about what the carryover was into this year, 2023. We waited until June.
Yeah.
We got the number in June, and that was, I thought, the carryover from 2022 into 2023.
Yeah, and that was $39,000. But most of that got spent in 2023 with band shell construction.
Well, like I said, let's have Melissa look at it one more time, and
Yeah.
maybe we can all come together on it.
I mean, so next year you would for sure have the 94 to spend, and if additional funds were raised, but you'd have the 94 that's committed towards Rome Town Center development.
All right.
Plus 25 from Visit Rome.
No, that is
Oh,
your
that
25,
includes.
your 25, your 40. That's your 94.
That's included in the 94, 939, 64, which is what is adopted by the budget.
Yeah, so that's your grant funding that's committed towards the park. And then if any additional donations came in, of course, that would be, if it was for that project. And then there's 50,000, but that's set aside for Parks and Rec and tourism. So the 50 is separate, but it's just reflected in a different budget.
So the 94 number includes the 25 from Visit Rome, includes the 40 from WEDC, includes the 25 from the Legacy Grant, and another just under 5,000, 4,939.64 in community donations and fundraisers.
Yes.
That's how the revenue shows for the park for next year.
All right. So anyway, where are we? I guess the question was, would we have enough next year to do the pickleball? And I would say we'd be short.
It will all, I mean, I don't know what the grants, I don't know what the bids will come back as either. That would be another question on.
You have an estimate here of 213 for pickleball courts?
Yes.
But then depending on how I should be able to do this.
Have we finalized all of the band shell payments?
We have one change order on Thursday's agenda, $1,300 because of the windowsill treatments. Other than that, all of the other expenses are finalized. We haven't gotten final invoices from all of the contractors yet, but
So they're
very
not out.
close.
Okay.
Very close. And I gave Melissa a sheet that breaks down what would be left with each contractor, so there can be a very easy matchup if the invoices would come in after I left.
Okay.
But we have one more $1,300 change order for consideration. I just because we just did those numbers, our contract cost for the band shell was $360,502, and with change orders, because we had some credits and we had some debits, the final cost for the band shell came in at $364,640. $364,640. So
Okay.
pretty good.
So the next step would be to get approval from the Plan Commission and then issue an RFP for the courts. Okay, that brings us down to item 13. Next steps to move forward with park development. Determine available funding for 2023. I guess we pretty much did that. We can revise it maybe after talking to you.
Yeah, I haven't had time to,
That's what we said, that you'd
yeah, it's been a little.
just been full.
So,
Okay, so we can do that, and
Do you have any more update on the landscaping?
yes, I do. I think it's in item 13 here. I got a proposal from Mike at DCM. He said it would be $300 to $400. He said if he could save us $100, he would, but his bid would basically be $400.
And
And
that includes what?
it includes a
Seating?
landscaping plan with all the plantings and things that we
okay.
would propose in the
Gotcha.
future.
Okay.
And then Woolsix was $695, so
And that's just for the plan then?
just for the
They
plan.
would work through to, okay.
That was $695.
600 from Willisec, 3 to 4 from DCM.
So I would move that we go forward with a DCM plan and tell Mike that we could expect to award him that small service contract. Is there a second?
I can second that.
All right, any other discussion? Okay, we have a motion and a second to award DCM the landscaping plan. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Okay, it brings us down to item 14, the park entrance sign.
Could we just go back to Melissa?
Sure.
Up to Walden?
Excuse me. Dave Trudeau stopped in today and we did file the grant. So that is all on the way to the DNR. So now we are just in wait mode and we will need to, if we're approved by the DNR, we will need to raise some funds to cover $5,000 to $6,000 that was not covered in grants.
Cause Visit Rome covered
Half,
half of
so
the
about a
half.
quarter, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, half of the half that wasn't covered, so, but there's always ways to make adjustments, and we may have some grant money left over from the original kayak project. We did have some left over for signage and things, so maybe I would have to meet with Lisa and see what's still there, but I do believe there's still some money, because we didn't do the gravel parking lot. So,
Right, we didn't do the culvert, no.
so there might be some money still available left from that we might be able to use maybe for the pathway down to the kayak launch. That would have to be refreshed with her, because it's been a while since we've had that conversation, so.
And could that quarter be sweat equity if I mean, if we,
We've already got that figured
Okay.
into the DNR grant, but the more, the more we do ourselves and the more money we save, but then I guess that's less we get for grant money too, but Dave would be the one that would know how to answer that better, but yeah, the more we do ourselves would help.
I
And
just
we-
thought if they used it as a match, we could track volunteer hours.
Yes, we do have that in the grant. We have it figured in there, and Dave does even have some contacts at the high school that we could maybe reach out to help with some of the hand labor and stuff, so.
Yeah, and the high school, I don't remember what we did for seating, but they did great with the benches we asked them to make for Rome Town Center. They did a really nice job.
Yes, and we did talk about doing that with this, but not everything's in the grant. Some stuff wasn't
Applicable,
applicable to the grant, so like some of that stuff may not be in there that we need to still do too, so.
yeah.
So.
But good job getting it submitted.
I know, it was like,
Excellent.
hit send and it's like months and months of work and it was done. Felt good.
What about signage? Did you talk about that at all?
I have not had a chance to, I'm not even sure, like, well, I think kind of what we're waiting for is a design that we're gonna use at Walden Park, we're gonna use at Rome Town Center. I think that's what needs to, we
I
need
thought
to
we were
come
gonna
up with.
propose something and have the CDC adopt it.
I thought
don't
at the
know.
last meeting, we wanted to work with Visit Rome and their graphic artist, if we could put something together. And then that would come forth both to parks and to community
CDA.
development, and the town board, that would have that consistent appeal. So I think I'm sure that the graphic artist will have some charge, but we would just wanna work cooperatively with Visit Rome, even if on the signage on the bottom, it was recognized that it would help be sponsored by Visit Rome, but just so it could be consistent. But we need a graphic designer, that's what we.
Yeah, we need to take, like little pieces from everywhere, and unfortunately, my time has not been
Okay.
allotted for that. So if someone else has some time and would like to do it, they're more than welcome. Otherwise, it might be just a little bit before I get to that, so.
Well, in the meantime, we could contact Lisa and just see what she thinks about it. They might be able to do something out of hand for
They
us too.
might. Yeah.
Yeah, Jillian is very, I mean, she's done lots of things for us. She's talented in
Yeah.
graphic design, but I think that's what, the next piece would be coordinating with a graphic designer to get some designs.
Yeah,
put
I will be
together.
seeing Lisa tomorrow for Christmas and Rome meeting, so I will try my best to, maybe she can come a little early and we can talk about that.
Okay, that's great. I'll keep it on the agenda then. Okay, anything else for item 10, Melissa?
For Walden Park, I don't believe so. I think we're just waiting now on the DNR grant, and we'll go from there.
Do you know what an estimate is that they let you know, estimate timeline to receive notice?
That I would have to run by Dave, but I want to say, we'd have plenty of time that we could start in the spring. So I'm thinking we should know by the end of the year, beginning of the year.
Okay.
So couple months.
And we're pretty optimistic that it's going to,
Dave feels it's good. I mean, Dave does a lot of these, so he did most of the work. I mean, we owe him a big, I know some of this is for their showcasing, but he did a lot of work on this, so.
It was kind of felt like it might be one of a less utilized grant overall for the state, so.
Yes.
Well, we'll see. Okay, proceeding on, that brings us down to the park entrance sign, which we have talked about for quite a while. And I was thinking that maybe we've just kind of overthinking this quite a bit. If we maybe just shrunk the size of the sign down to maybe 4.5, 5 feet, and have it say across the top of it, "Welcome to Rome's Town Center Park," and then put our plaque below it on the left side so that we could have room for 2 more plaques below it if, side by side if we had. Maybe we could get by with that and move it on forward. And then have a planter in front with some perennials that would be in there. Be easy to do. We have plenty of block. We'd have more than enough block for that.
I kind of feel we're still kind of in limbo with the park entrance sign, just because we need it's the same thing with the Walden Park. We want to have a plan for a sign and see what what we come up with. I mean, we can incorporate the donor plaque, but I think we need to get,
I think there's different signs. I think there's a sign to announce that park, a sign to announce this park, and this will be an internal sign inside the park, right? But we still want them all to kind of flow together.
yeah, that's what I was assuming. We're waiting to have a overall plan for all the signs that would be similar.
You wanna have a uniform design,
Yes,
that's what you're looking for.
yes. I thought that was the discussion we had.
Okay, well, if everybody feels that way, we'll carry on with it and hope that we can come up with a design. I think if we're going to put up this wall with a planter in front of it, we're gonna have to put an RFP out and get a mason lined up early this coming year so that we can get it done next year.
And we already have the block.
Yeah.
And there should be plenty of it there, right?
Oh, there, you could probably do 2 signs.
Okay. Well,
One at Walden.
Exactly. So when we do talk to Visit Rome, this is something we should mention, some of the
Yeah, that
stuff
we
we
have the
already
block.
talked about, yeah.
Did everyone notice though that the pillars did get wrapped on the Rome Town Center sign, so there's a darker wood grain color that makes that
haven't
sign
done that way.
pop.
So, okay, I'll have to look next time.
Yeah, nice.
What sign are you talking about?
Entrance sign to the Rome
Rome
Town
Town
Center.
Center.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay, I
not
didn't see
Timberline.
that.
Yeah, yeah, they did. Given the nice weather that we've had, they picked like the worst day to. But it is done.
Okay, next agenda items then, anybody have any suggestions?
I do.
Bill?
Why don't you get them copies of the budget? Same thing I was reading off of. It's been adopted, so they all have the numbers.
Okay, yeah, we can do that.
I can just email that out, cause if you wanna add a budget item for next time, but I can email that out prior.
I don't think it needs to be an item, I just think they should have the information at their fingertips when they're talking about expenditures.
Okay, anything else that anybody wants to add to the next agenda? If you come up with anything in the meantime, let me know.
So we'll keep it the way it is, like with the signs and the Walden Park, so we can,
Yeah, I think so,
Okay.
just as placeholders, so we remember what we're talking about.
Okay.
Then, the next time and date would be Monday, December the 11th at 5 PM. Are everybody okay with that, or do you want to change it?
do we like this 4:30 slot or not?
4:30?
Yeah, it's kinda nice to,
Especially since it gets dark. so
Everybody's
early.
okay with it? We can leave it at 4:30?
anyone have any reason not to?
Yes, that's fine.
Don't look at me.
No, but you know more than I would on
All
that.
right, we'll keep it at
I
4:30.
I do too. It's like, wow, I might get home before 7 o'clock tonight.
Okay. That concludes our agenda, so I will adjourn the meeting. Thanks, everybody.
Meeting adjourned 5:04 PM.